Well, good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, sunny San Antonio, Texas. The second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are ready for a wonderful Thursday today. I'm starting this video a little earlier than I normally would because there's quite a bit of ground to cover this morning. If you are married or know somebody who is, please feel free to share this with them. This video today is entitled Making It Through the Dark Seasons of Marriage. Making it through the dark seasons of marriage. And by that implication, that means not if you go through dark seasons, when you go through dark seasons in marriage. It would be very helpful for you to have some guideposts in your thinking and in your heart that would allow you to see the breadcrumb trail to get to the other side when you go through these dark seasons. Probably the biggest temptation in these dark seasons is the temptation to believe that it will remain that way and things will not get better. So when we have these guideposts, guidepost number one that I'm going to tell you is absolutely critical. And by the way, this is something I realized I was a little more edgy a few years ago when I started making these videos, because yesterday I celebrated 26 years of being married to Angela. We have 7 kids, and it's been a mighty long 26 years seeing how I have been unemployed for 24 of those last 26 years. What does that mean, unemployed? That means I have been an entrepreneur, completely responsible for any and all of the income that our family would take in, and all of the provision that was required to run a family like that, and the pressures that come along with that. And here's what I'll tell you about that 26 years. I had a title on a video a couple of years ago that said, the secret to our marriage is a daily threesome. Yes, didn't I tell you I was a little edgier? The secret to our marriage, I said, was a daily threesome. What do you mean by that, Steve Collins? Well, I'll be completely frank with you. It's me and Angela and the good Lord, and that time that we spend together every single morning, regardless of what's going on in our lives. We have made a commitment. Now let me tell you, the power of a commitment is that it doesn't have anything to do with your feelings. Let me say that again so you can let it sink in for all areas of your life. The power of truly being committed is that means you execute regardless of your feelings. So one of my personal quotes as an executive performance coach that will help people coach themselves through challenging times is this statement. Remember it, it'll change your life if you apply it. Is my decision to take action right now going to be based on my feelings or my commitment? You see, when the alarm goes off at 4:20 in the morning, or when you're faced with something that's potentially going to pull the carpet out from under you, or when you're faced with what seems to be a circumstance that in the moment you cannot see the way out of, whatever it may be that you're endeavoring to move forward with, you've got to ask yourself this question. Is my decision to take action right now going to be based on my feelings or on my commitment? Because, oh, by the way, your feelings do not have big plans for you. Your feelings want you to stay small and want you to stay seemingly safe. I want you to mitigate all risks. That's not how you were designed to live, my friends. You were designed to live the great adventure, walking by faith and not by sight, taking some calculated risks and moving forward, trusting and believing that the future can be different with a few basic choices you can make. So particularly in marriage, let's discuss this. The secret to me and Angela continues to be a daily threesome in the morning. Me and her and the good Lord. We pray together. It's really hard to stay angry with one another when you pray together, and sometimes that prayer is simple as, help us, Lord, and then we go opposite directions. You think I'm kidding? I'm totally not kidding. But many times we are praying for one another, or praying for our children, or our family members, our clients, our friends, leaders, the nation. It forces, if you will, a habit of getting past the issues you're working on, and it lets you tap into the nature of your partner's heart. And so number one, we have that daily threesome. We have that good time with the good Lord in our prayer. Another way you get through these dark seasons in life is you must have a network. Ideally a network, but at least a couple of married friends who value marriage more than they value selfishness, or who will back you up to fight the good fight instead of get in agreement with your flesh. What does that look like if you're on the opposite side of that? Well, let's take that it was, let's just say, some guy who's having a hard time in his marriage, and most guys don't talk about it anyway, and he goes and meets his buddy. They go to play golf, and he's talking to him about the frustrations he's having at home with his wife, and conversations, if you're around the wrong people, could go like this. Man, she's crazy. Don't she know that you're doing all this hard work? You're busting her tail for her, man. She ain't grateful at all. That's some baloney. Wasn't that secretary you like? Wasn't she flirting with you the other day? Man, all you just need to get you a side piece, man, and you don't have to worry about, don't get divorced, but, have you some fun on the side, or, hey, man, you don't have to take that crap from her. That's a bunch of BS. What the hell's wrong with her? Those are not the friends you want to be around. A lady going through a hard time in her marriage, maybe she meets her friends for a glass of wine, and they say, I cannot believe he is treating you that way. Doesn't he understand what a queen you are? This is baloney. I mean, who's that guy at work that listens to you that you said that's so kind and so nice? I mean, girl, let me just tell you, you just don't need to put up with that. You just don't need to put up with that. It may be time for you to look at something else or someone else. Those are not the kind of friends that you need if you're going to make it through the dark seasons of marriage. You need friends that'll get around you when you're going to play golf, Mr. Dude Guy, that will say, man, that's rough. It sounds like you're going through a tough time right now. Brother, you're going to make it. You guys have history. You guys have been through a lot. And because you're the guy, as your friend, let me just lay it on the line for you, dude. You and I both know this. It's all your damn fault. It's all your fault. Have you gone to counseling yet? Have you called up that therapist yet? Did you guys book that marriage encounter weekend? What are you doing, bro? Well, I'm doing the best I can, Steve. Great. I'm glad you're doing the best you can. Dude, now it's time to do the best that can be done. So good. Your best that you can do is not yielding the results you want. Now it's time to do the best that can be done. You want me to help you? I'm going to make some calls. See what you get some help, dude. Get somebody to help you. Is your marriage important? What's more important, boy, your pride or the rest of your life? Suck it up, buttercup. Accept responsibility. Quit blaming her. Let's move forward. You need a friend like that. Ladies, you need that friend when you say, my husband, he's this and he's doing that. He's just awful. Sally, it sounds really, really like a very hard time with you right now, girl. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to create a prayer chain with you. We're going to, ladies, let's all agree. Let's fast breakfast for the next 7 days. And let's just really pray for her and her marriage, that God would change her heart and her husband's heart, and that they would bring some healing in that. Sweetie, what can we do for you? Can we bring you over some dinner tonight? Do you need time off? Do you want to go get your nails done or something? Do you just need a little break? We got you, girl. You're going to make it through this. You guys have history. You can do this. These are the type of friends you need. If you're going to make it through the dark seasons of life, number one, you better have a daily threesome. You, your spouse, and some time with the good Lord in prayer. Number two, you better make sure you have friends who value the covenant of marriage and who have the foresight, the insight, and the maturity to encourage you when you just want to be placated, and who will speak the truth to you out of love rather than tell you what you want to hear and maybe give you information that will cause your heart to grow hard and potentially end that relationship. You need the really good friends around you. Third, what do you need to get through the dark seasons of life? Let me tell you what you need to get through the dark seasons of life. You need to have a story you tell yourself in that dark season. Okay, Shakespeare says this in Hamlet, there is no good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Tony Robbins, everybody heard of Tony Robbins? Say aye. Tony Robbins says there's no meaning to any situation except the meaning you attach to it by the story you tell yourself. Something's going challenging in your relationship, you can tell yourself, this is it. This is done. We've been through this before. Nothing has changed. This is awful. I'm out of here. I can't take it no more. That could be your story. Or you could say, man, you know what? We've done the best we could. It's time to do the best that can be done. Maybe it's time that we call a counselor. Maybe it's time that we get a marriage therapist. Maybe it's time that we go to a marriage seminar. Maybe we talk to some couples that we know that have been together for a long time and see if they're willing to share with us or pour into us. I wonder if there's some resources out there there. Maybe we don't Netflix tonight for the next 3 hours. Maybe we actually talk. Maybe we actually talk with another couple. Maybe we get some help. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once you've done the best you can, it's time to do the best that can be done. And that means looking for resources and relationships. Let me just break something that may have been told to you that is a bald-faced lie. Asking for help is not weakness. Asking for help is wisdom. Asking for help is not weakness. Asking for help is wisdom. Most guys in particular have been taught that you don't talk about stuff, and when you need help, you figure it out, you suck it up and be a man. That's why there's so many unhappy men. That's why there's so many unfulfilled marriages, because somewhere homeboy got the wrong message. Homeboy got the message that to ask for help is weakness. The truth of the matter is it's foolishness to not ask for help. It is you relying on you. And if all of your best decisions have brought you to a place, and all of your best thoughts and resources have brought you to a place in your life that you don't want to be, guess what, my brother? You can have another thought, and you can bring in another relationship, and you can bring in another resource. So number 3, get you some help, man. Get you some help. Reach out to someone. Get you some counseling. Get you some, hey, bottom line, Angela and I married 26 years. Do you know I have a spiritual coach, I have a fitness coach, I have a nutrition coach, I have a business coach, I have a marriage coach, and a financial coach, so 6 total. We pay more for our coaches than we do for our house, and that we paid for our cars. We invest more in ourselves for our growth and development, because the only way things are going to change, Jim Rohn said it this way, for things to change, you ready for this? Watch my finger. For things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. Things don't just change, and things don't just get better. For things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. So I'm going to leave you with those 3 nuggets today. 3 things to get through the dark seasons of marriage. Number 1, have a daily threesome. In the morning. Your spouse and the good Lord, you commit to prayer. You commit to pray together no matter how angry you are. Angela and I have had prayer that have lasted literally hours, and we have had prayer that have been like this, where we held each other's hands and said, bless them, Lord, and help me not to choke them out. Amen. And she walks away. That it is what it is, but we keep the commitment. Does that make sense? It forces something. Number 2, make sure you have good friends who value your marriage and who have a set of stones to tell you what you may need to hear and not what you want to hear. People who will value you and encourage you through those dark seasons and remind you that things can be better. And then, of course, number 3, don't be arrogant. Don't be prideful. Don't be like Bud and Sissy on Urban Cowboy back in the day. Fine, forget it. I got a thumb, I got a middle finger, screw you. You can do that, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to be unhappy. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Let me tell you what, there's no other money that you can invest if you're a married person, no other money that will yield as great a benefit as leaning into learning how you can work on you and y'all. When you work on you and y'all, the quality of your life goes up. So I hope that helps you guys today, because it's not if you go through dark seasons, it's when you go through dark seasons. And if you have this 3-pronged cord together, prayer time, y'all, and the good Lord, right? It's an important thing. Good friends who value marriage, and being able to have the humility to reach out for help when you need it, you're going to have a fighting chance. Not only to stay married, because that's not the goal. That's like someone saying, I'm sober. I've been sober for 5 years. I've been sober, and nobody can tell me nothing about it. Okay, dude, you may be sober, but you're miserable as hell, and nobody likes being around you. Maybe the goal is not being sober. Maybe it's being happy. Maybe it's having some joy. Maybe it's having an abundant life. Yeah, you think? Maybe. Well, just staying married doesn't mean you're going to have a great, passionate, and wonderful marriage. Okay? For you to have a great, passionate, wonderful marriage, it's going to take some work. All right, y'all? Love y'all. Hope y'all have a great day.